Hello and welcome to the Federal. A tragic development is coming from Nepal's Rasuwa district near the Tibet border, where massive flash floods have swept away homes, bridges, and infrastructure projects. At least 16 people have been reported dead, and nearly 400 people remain missing, and among them are 105 Indian nationals. With floodwaters now surging downstream and border villages like Bihar and Uttar Pradesh are on high alert now. So, what caused this sudden surge, and could a glacial lake outburst in Tibet be responsible for this? Joining us today to decode all this is Prabhat Khanal, a senior journalist and a documentary filmmaker based in Kathmandu, Nepal. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you having me.
So my first and obvious question: there are a lot of speculations right now, with reports saying that it was due to rain, while others say that the flash flood was due to an earthquake-induced avalanche. So was this disaster caused by continuous, like incessant rain, or are we looking at another high-altitude glacial lake outburst flood, as they call it, GLOF, similarly passed to the Himalayan incidents?
Yeah, there is no any clear sign of cloud burst, but expert says I think that was happened because of glacier burst, and many experts says there are small scale of earthquake, and then after that that happened that flash flood happens, expert says. And if you see the some videos from Tibetan side or in Nepalese side, and actually a powerful flood rushed down the Bhote Koshi Wednesday morning, destroyed the markets and settlements along the Trisul River in Timure. Especially if it affects on the way of rivers, Bhote Koshi, and downstream the Trisul River. It happens. The flood damage around three, four district: Rasuwa, Nuakot, Dhading, and some parts of Chiton. Uh, the flood swiped the many villages, which is side by side of the rivers, and I think the damage is not exactly, the government is not providing exact data. It will comes later, I think. uh,
Yeah.
I think if you see the local media of Nepal, the damage will be huge. And some media says almost at least 60 people's dead body is recovered from flood, and some bodies is found another districts like Dhading and Chiton also.
Also, was this level of damage, 400 people missing, that's not a small number. And among
Yes.
them, 105 are Indian nationals, and not to mention the casualties, which is at least 17 were reported dead. So this is not a small number. So was this level of damage anticipated? And what is the immediate concern of the residents, let's say for over the next 24 to 48 hours?
I think immediate reactions suddenly happen because government is deploy armies, helicopter, and police, AFF, and government is clearing many beds in government hospitals and many hospitals. And I think the flood is not anticipated, but some if you see a pattern in previous years, last 2024, there are uh, glacier burst in Sologum districts in Thame, and also Mustang districts. If you see Nepal's upper side, there are lots of glacier lake. Expert says that will they will burst anytime, and that is the crucial site of Himalayas, Hindu Kush Himalayas, and mm, uh, I think government is taking every aspect of um, what we say that every aspect of his work. It means they are rescuing. They are almost 100, more than 100 people are rescuing, and at least seven Nepal armies helicopter is deployed, and 25 private sector helicopter is deployed to rescue, and also many India, China, and also World Bank. They are saying we are going to help you financially and other things also. Yeah.
So, since you mentioned the helicopter landing, so like I said, more than 100 Indian nationals were among the 400 people who went missing. So, how are like ground teams, be it India or Nepal or the neighboring countries, navigating the search and rescue operation, given that the higher water levels are preventing the helicopters from landing? So, that's one more issue that they are facing during the rescue efforts. So, what do you have to say about how are they managing?
Yeah, I think if you see a geographical condition Nepal, it will be hard to rescue from anywhere. There will be a particular place where the helicopters will be able to land, and people are carrying the injured people. And if you go to the rescue, I think they are not saying Indian, Nepalese, or foreigners, but they will help whatever they saw. And it will be hard to rescue some parts of Nepal because many people are the place if you see the geographical condition of that plots area, from there, even export, even trained people also, they are not able to easily rescue people. I think that will be a critical part, but they will do their best, I think.
Yeah, I think let's all hope that they do their best and then this situation, sort of plays down. So finally, with floodwaters from Nepal rushing downstream to rivers like Kosi in India, what specific evacuation and safety protocols are being executed in border district? I'm not talking about the neighboring countries, talking about the border districts across Bihar and Uttar Pradesh.
I think the flood will not affect on India, because if the flood will go downstream from Dhading and Chittagong district, the flood will be spread. The impact or effect will be not damage, I think, Bihar and UP, but some kind of damage will be happen, I think. But I think they will aware for that. But I think because if you see the in Tarai region, the river will be flowed like this, widely, and
Yeah.
the force of that flood will be decrease at that level. I think the impact will be not that much, which was in Nepal or Tibet.
I think you're right. I think that's really insightful. And this brings me to the final question. So, with the very critical trade corridors like the Rasuwa border bridge, so that was destroyed in this flash flood, and over 430 megawatts of power generation was knocked offline. So, how long do you think will this infrastructure restoration take place, and what is the estimated timeline for the lives to return to normalcy after this incident?
Yeah, I think we'll say after the damage, if you see after seeing that damage. But according to local media, around 747, around more than 700 megawatt project was collapsed
Okay.
by the flood.
Most
And I think full restoration could take months, not months, more than weeks. I think more than months also. Some project will be take more than years, because if you see our working pattern and government, how I think, I don't know, government will prioritize this hydropower, or they will government will prioritize people or their settlement. I don't know if the settlement will happen, then after that government will be also building, especially from major in river, the major bridges and road hydropower infrastructure was collapsed. If you see the in Tirsul River, there are lots of hydropower, small hydropower, and upper Trishuli, and there are lots of major hydropowers actually. If you see, that will definitely affect the Nepal's electric power supply, I think. But hope they will restore the hydropower more than month, I think. But sometimes it will takes more than years also.
Yeah, like you said, like one can only hope for faster recovery and restoration of not only just people's lives, but also not
Yes.
just the normalcy, but also the infrastructure,
Yes.
which is there. I think
Because
that brings us to the. Yes, sir, please continue.
yeah, because I think the impact and the damage caused by flood is huge, I think.
Yeah.
Because the clear data is not published yet. Obviously it will comes later, and according to some people, around 400, 500 people were killed by flood. Because if you see your local media, there are lots of statement from people who is from that flood area, landslide area. They are saying that I saw the many people swiped by flood, and many people still, almost 384 people are missing in Rasuwa district, who is, they are the tourists, including 49 Indians. And I think Tamil Nadu's some people also missing. I saw in
Yes.
news. And one constable from Nepal police, they also said, he survived. His around 12 friends or colleagues swiped by floods. Like that, there are lots of, if you see the many villages or small town, and Tirsuli, small city, small town, swiped by floods. I think the damage will be huge, but we have to wait for data, I think.
Yeah, I think the aftermath is yet to be reviewed, and the numbers keep on increasing, and we'll have to wait till we get further updates. So I think that brings us to the end of this discussion. The situation along the Indo-Nepal border remains extremely critical, and the rescue teams are racing against time to locate the missing, including the Indian nationals and other nationals, and also with floodwaters moving downstream. The bordering states are also on high alert. So let's stay tuned for more updates. Thank you for joining, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having